Yo, shout out to the big homie Elon Musk, okay? He's out there doing the Lord's work with the Twitter files, and whenever we get a new installment to that, your boy's gonna be covering it. But him getting rid of the Trust and Safety Council, it's just him up at the top, and then just the rest of the guys that want to go in there and code to their heart's content. That's Twitter at this point. And it's running better than ever. So we'll just do a little bit of this before we get into the former head of this Trust and Safety Commission, who's got, oh boy, quite a bit of a past. Elon Musk's Twitter dissolved its Trust and Safety Council on Monday night. This comes days after the three members of the council announced their resignation, saying contrary to Musk's claims, the safety and well-being of Twitter's users are on the decline. Bruh. The Washington Post reports that Twitter dissolved its Trust and Safety Council on Monday. It's a private company, bro. It can do whatever it wants. In an email to board members, the company wrote, "Here's my balls. Lick 'em or leave." Twitter moves into a new phase. We are reevaluating how to best bring external insights into our product and policy development works. As part of the process, we have decided that the Trust and Safety Council can fuck right off and go straight to hell. But that's alright, man. I'm sure all of those people, they have greener pastures to go and peruse, and they can take the lead of one of their former heads that's out there, okay? Yoel Roth. Oh boy, this is quite a trip right here. I've been meaning to do this one for a hot second, and I had to make some room in order to get this done. Okay, I got a video that I recorded a long time ago that I moved off very far into the future, so it's all right. It's one of those evergreen videos that's out there, so it really doesn't much matter. I wanted to get to the bottom of this, like Yoel Roth has with many a young child before. Oops, spoiler alert. Ex-Twitter executive, he's forced to flee his home amid Twitter files release. Okay, listen. Okay, this came right in the middle of the Donald Trump, getting deplatformed arc. Nobody cares, Yoel Roth. Nobody fucking cares, bro. So stop it. This is just an obvious attention grab. Top of the list of things that never fucking happened. This has got to be number 1 or 2. Okay, right up there with, well, we won't finish that joke right there. It writes itself. If you wanna know where I'm thinking on this one, you know what? Just have a nice little chuckle to yourself, because it's a gas. Twitter's former head of trust and safety was reportedly forced to flee his home due to rapidly intensifying threats from Elon Musk and his supporters. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of something else earlier in this year. Okay, I was forced to leave my home and go to an Airbnb, and I felt so threatened I needed to post a selfie, and then some spurgs on Kiwi farms ended up figuring out where I'm going. It has those exact same vibes, just a lot less troon shine in your own bathroom. Anyways, Yoel Roth, who resigned from Twitter in November, and his family left their Bay Area home this weekend. Oh my god, of course. You can go shack up with a hammer enthusiast down there if you'd like, or maybe Paul Pelosi needs another friend. You seem to be of that persuasion anyways. This weekend over safety concerns spurned in part by the release of the Twitter files. Yes, of course, Spaceman bad. He made me leave his house. Oh my god. Roth has faced mounting threats. Sure he has. Following the release of the site's internal documents, which only intensified over the weekend when Musk misrepresented Roth's academic writing in a tweet. Oh really? Baselessly claiming Roth has a favorable view of pedophilia. Well, actually, we've got that right here, so we'll just go ahead and read it in a second, but all right. Looks like Yoel is arguing in favor of children being able to access adult internet services in his PhD thesis, Musk tweeted Saturday with a screenshot of Roth's dissertation. The Washington Post reported, "Oh, don't worry. Oh, yes, Jeff Bezos' fucking defense squad is out there in full force. Hey, man, this guy right here, okay, one of our chosen people." I didn't mean it like that, but, whatever. Take it how you want. He didn't do nothing wrong. He's a good boy that's out there, okay? He's on the right side of history, and if you're going to misrepresent him, we're going to protect him all the way to the end. Remember when the Washington Post used to do good journalism? Neither do I. A barrage of threats were sent to people Roth had replied to on Twitter. I thought he left Twitter. That's funny. And the menacing became so intense that several of his family and friends had to delete their Twitter accounts. Oh my god, they were big shook after bad takes on Twitter. It's so sad. Musk supporters also directed their online harassment towards professors who reviewed Roth's dissertation, which was written in 2016, and his graduate school, the University of Pennsylvania. It's kind of funny how that shit ended up shaking out, but there you go right there. Yeah, it looks like Yoel is arguing in favor of children being able to access porn on the internet. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, he tweeted out a screenshot of that one from the source material that we have right there, which was conspicuously blocked for a second. Kind of fucking weird. Roth, who is gay, couldn't tell. Wow, big shock on that one. Suggested in his dissertation that gay dating apps like Grindr should adopt safety policies to accommodate teenagers. Why would you argue for that? What's the spin on that? Okay, you should set up parameters for teenagers who already use apps underage. Oh, see, because people are breaking the policy, that means that it's fine, okay? It's like, oh, somebody killed somebody in self-defense. That means that it's fine for serial killers to just act indiscriminately. Fuck kind of logic is this? As a form of harm reduction on social media. No, how about you just have personal verification for people using these types of apps? How about that? But no, it's always this one direction. It's just so fucking weird. Take a look at California State Senator Scott Wiener for proof of concept on that one with his landmark legislation like decriminalizing the passage of AIDS unknowingly. And then also making it so underage sex acts for just decency standards, not because I'm worried about censorship or anything like that. I just want to phrase this correctly. Okay, underage butt fucking between boys and predatory men is no longer a crime. I think I got that right. Did I thread the needle? Roth's role of the head of trust and safety at Twitter involved him working on sensitive issues, including the suspension of former President Donald Trump's account in 2021. More or less, he was one of the, the cheerleaders that was out there. Can we get rid of Trump today? No. Tomorrow. Can we get rid of Trump? No. And then, of course, you just had to wait for the girl to pull the fucking trigger on it. I'd call you a word, but, it's just kind of self-evident at this point. With the release of the Twitter files, journalist Barry Weiss shared a series of screenshots allegedly showing internal conversations between Roth and other employees in which they discussed whether to ban Trump's account, CNN reported. Actually, Barry Weiss reported. You could just go check that out. Or you can go back and take a look at some of the videos that I did on the subject, okay? He was front and center on a couple of those, but it's just very funny how at least this report right here is just obfuscating all of this stuff. No, Elon Musk misrepresented it. CNN and the Washington Post to confirm what I've already said, but don't worry, we've got receipts. Of course we do. Musk had previously been supportive of Roth. Yeah, no, exactly. Until he started to figure out, oh my God, I'm supporting this motherfucker who's here. Oh my God, he was one of the biggest censors that's on here. You got to pack your shit and fuck off. In October, when Roth was still employed by Twitter, Musk was asked about some of his old tweets. We've all made some questionable tweets, me more than most, but I want to be clear that I support Yoel. My sense is that he has high integrity, and we are all entitled to our political beliefs. Musk tweeted, of course. And then some of the back-channel communications just outed him as being two-faced in this situation. I don't care how you fucking live your life, okay? I don't care if your asshole looks like that fucking geyser back there, dude. Live your life however you want. Just leave the kids alone, okay? Roth's gay data dissertation, mistakenly, whoops, Freudian slip there, blocked by UPenn website after Elon Musk's tweet. Funny. Very funny situation. And obviously, yeah, spoiler, we got it right there. And we'll read some of it here because, well, actually, yeah, no, not too much of it. We'll read the abstract of it. It's 302 pages. 302 pages of, well, pedophilia apology. The University of Pennsylvania temporarily blocked the doctoral dissertation from Twitter's former head of safety, Yoel Roth, after the new Twitter CEO, Elon Musk, tweeted about it. Musk, who has been purging Twitter employees, well, actually just asking them, hey, do you guys want to work hard or do you want to get fired, or do you want to leave? Sorry, he's not firing anybody. He's just more or less, hey, you can either work here, you can work hard, you can work as much as you want, and I will pay you accordingly, or you can fuck off and get out of here. And 57% of the women that were working at Twitter ended up leaving because they didn't want to work hard. self-snitching much. 47% of the men also, left at the same time. And now all of those women claiming they are fired, filing a class action lawsuit is like, no, we just wanted to sit back and relax and get wine on tap and cry in the fucking safe space chambers that they had. It's like, bro, why you got to make it so easy for people out there to make fun of you? Oh, well. Musk, who had been, purging Twitter losers, exposing the company's history of anti-conservative bias through the Twitter files, was previously laudatory of Roth, tweeting in October that he has high integrity, and then figured out that, that's just not such the case. They're releasing the new Twitter files from Substack journalist Matt Taibbi, used to work for Rolling Stone, I think is his biggest credit. Last week also revealed Roth apparently attended weekly meetings with the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and Director of National Intelligence about moderating Donald Trump, not just content, okay? This is Fox News after all. I just picked their article out of the ether, okay? I was just also tired of looking at New York Post reporting on all this stuff anyways. All the same fucking shit anyways. On Saturday afternoon, Musk tweeted about Roth's 2016 dissertation at the University of Pennsylvania titled Gay Data. Why is it always about butt fucking or sex or whatever, okay? Guys, you probably know somebody who's gay that's out there, okay? It's, 11% of the population, okay? You probably know somebody. When you talk to them in real life, do they make everything about sex? No! No, they don't. They're real fucking people, okay? Do I run around and yell and scream about, my proclivity for pulling a girl's hair or slapping her on the ass? No, I don't, because what I do in the confinements of my own room or living room or basement or balcony is totally between me and whomever we're spending time with, okay? It's not that big of a fucking deal, but if you have to make your entire brand about I'm gay, what are you really contributing to the fucking world? But yes, Gay Data, which he suggested ways to improve the LGBTQ dating app Grindr. You wrote a doctoral dissertation about how to make Grindr great again. Holy fuck, bro. Actually, that's what he was looking for, and he's like, it's just not working. Oh my god, I just want better results. Looks like Yoel Roth is arguing in favor of children being able to access adult internet services in his PhD thesis. This explains a lot. Certainly does. On Saturday and Sunday, Roth's dissertation was inaccessible on the University of Pennsylvania Scholarly Commons site. According to Internet Archives on the Wayback Machine, a note next to the work's title on the website during that time read, this paper has been withdrawn. Yep, scrubbed from the fucking internet, but thank God there are some good folks that are out there who managed to archive it in some form or fashion. So I got the abstract here. Obviously, like I said, it's 302 pages. I'll link to it in my video that's right here, okay? We'll read as much as we can stomach, okay? Mostly because I don't spend all of my time reading about, fucking hookup culture, okay? Couldn't give less of a shit about this stuff, unless, of course, some fucking goof is involved in this. Let's just make this a little bit larger. That's what he said, mostly because my old eyes don't work that well. Anyways, so here's the abstract, okay? If you don't believe me, Gay Data, Yoel Roth, University of Pennsylvania. That's obviously, not an active anymore, and obviously don't contact this fucking weirdo. I know he has plenty of time on his hands, but he's already complaining about harassment, but not providing any receipts, okay? So you're just giving him opportunities to fucking claim or victimhood and clout chase at the same time. So just don't. Since its launch in 2009, the geosocial networking service Grindr has become an increasingly mainstream and prominent part of gay culture, both in the United States and globally. Mobile applications like Grindr give users the ability to quickly and easily share information about themselves in the form of text, numbers, and pictures, and connect with each other in real time on the basis of geographic proximity. I argue that these services constitute an important site for examining how bodies, identities, and communities are translated into data, as well as how data becomes a tool for forming, understanding, and managing personal relationships. Throughout this work, I articulate a model of networked interactivity that conceptualizes self-expression as an act determined by three sometimes overlapping, sometimes conflicting sets of affordances and constraints. Number one, techno-commercial structures of software and business. Number two, cultural and subcultural norms, mores, histories and standards of acceptable and expected conduct, and number three, socio-political tendencies that appear to be, but in fact are not fixed at techno-commercial structures. In these discussions, Grindr. It's a great Judas Priest song. Funnily enough, fronted by Rob Halford, who's probably my favorite metal singer of all time. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite metal band, but just funny all this stuff just kind of coincides together. Like, Rob Halford doesn't make everything about the fact that he's gay. He's the fucking metal god for a reason. Anywho, back to gay Grindr talk. Serves both as a model of process and applied to social networking more generally, as well as a particular study into how networked interactivity is complicated by the histories and particularities of Western gay culture. Over the course of the dissertation, I suggest ways in which users, policymakers, and developers can productively recognize the liveliness, vitality, and durability of personal information in the design, implementation, and the use of gay-targeted social networking websites. There's one? Maybe there's more. I don't know. I don't care. It's just Grindr's the funniest one. Specifically, I argue that though a focus on open-ended structures of interface design, clear and transparent articulations of service policies and the rationales behind them, and the approach to user information and promote data sovereignty, designers, developers, and advocates can work to make social networking services, including Grindr, safer and more representative of their users throughout their data's lifecycle. Now, ain't you just the arbiter of what is good and honest about social media, okay? Because we know, actually, this was back in 2016 before you would have got the job for Twitter, which is funny because you point out some things that are, in theory, probably, fairly important to the sustainability of social media platforms, but in practicality, you just trying to find dudes, okay? All right, so I just decided to search for underage, and on page 259, we start with this paragraph. Questions of physical safety become even more urgent when they're coupled with what Wendy Chun has called one of the most enduring paranoid narratives of digital media, the need to protect minors from unregulated sexual wilds of the internet. The number of publicized accusations of sexual assault involving Grindr users under the age of 18 is relatively small. Only 3 have resulted in legal proceedings since the service's launch. Yet, even in their low numbers, the cases are chilling. Oh, great! In June of 2012, 2 adult Grindr users organized a threesome. Gross. An all-caboose train. With another user who claimed on his profile to be 18, when in fact they were both underage. Both men faced charges of sexual assault and endangering the welfare of a child. Jack Goldman. In September 2014, a seropositive man was charged with sexual assault and admitting to have sex with a 15-year-old on at least 4 occasions. Yeah, easily to just go ahead and misconstrue an 18-year-old with a 15-year-old, okay? Definitely wasn't looking specifically for somebody underage, right? Including one instance of unprotected sex without having disclosed of sero status. Does that mean you're HIV positive? I don't know, man. In April of 2015, another man was charged with sexual abuse of a child after he met and sexually assaulted a 14-year-old he had met on Grindr. In each case, public accounts of assaults are framed in largely the same way. Older predatory men take advantage of the impressionable, naive teenagers who have stumbled their way onto Grindr. Seems to be a reasonably accurate assessment to the situation. The Grindr app becomes a hotbed for this type of predation, and both the individuals involved in the service itself are held to task. Maybe. The district attorney responsible for prosecuting the 2015 case suggested that such incidents were bound to become more common as social networking sites like Grindr continue to rise in popularity. Yep, the possibility for abuse, he argued, is the drawback of modern technology. The onus, therefore, is on the parents to teach children to avoid these types of dangerous situations. I would, if only they would have, stayed with that interpretation. But no. Now it's all about, putting safety corners on everything. Tell them to stay away from strangers on the street, strangers on the phone. Yes, of course. But yes, of course, okay, going back to what Elon Musk was talking about here, okay, taking a look at the screenshot of where it came from. We got this entire paragraph right here to just go through, see if we're missing any context on that, because we got underage stuff, and obviously he's very intimate with the details about what's going on and just presenting them as fact. So he's done his homework. So what's his conclusion on this? These accounts echo many of the classic tropes of online child safety narratives, the essentially dangerous nature of new media, the need to impose strict top-down controls on how minors use the internet, a digital reincarnation of stranger danger in the figure. Oh, okay, cool. So it's just one of those reefer madness type situations, whatever. In the figure of an older male sexual predator, and the importance of raising a child to be safety savvy and highly private. Yeah, because they're kids. They're underage. They're not supposed to. Okay, the terms of service is explicitly put that you should make notice of if you're underage. That's just for the mainstream social media sites. I'd imagine for those dating sites, it's probably explicit. Don't be underage, okay? Don't use this if you are under the age of 18. Fucking porn sites, you need to click through, okay? And I know everybody disregards that shit and clicks through as quickly as possible in order to access what's on there. Just like the whole, hey, we need to, we need to put cookies on your, fucking browser. I couldn't sound older with that description, but everybody just is like, yeah, just cool. Let me just take a look at this. All of that shit is already in place. So are you trying to find a workaround? Is that what we're going with here? Yet absent from these discussions is even a cursory recognition that the new medium of gay targeted social media networking may be crucial social outlet for gay, bisexual, and questioning youth. Okay, cool. Just because they're doing that doesn't mean that you should open up fucking dating sites for that, you fucking weirdo. While gay youth-oriented chat rooms and social networking websites were available in the early 2000s, I bet they're still open. I'm sure that there's many a message board, probably all over Tumblr. These services have largely fallen by the wayside in favor of general-purpose platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. Okay, cool. So why do you need access to Grindr? I'm just wondering. Perhaps the truly representative of an increasingly absent demand among young adults for network space to engage with their peers about their sexuality. Yeah, but this was back in 2016, okay? Now that shit is fucking everywhere. But it's worth considering how, if at all, the current generation of popular sites of gay network sociability might fit into the overall queer social landscape that increasingly includes individuals under the age of 18. Even with the service's extensive content management, Grindr may well be too lewd or too hookup oriented to be a safe and age-appropriate resource for teenagers. But the fact that people under 18 are on those services already. Okay, cool. So you recognize right there, it's too lewd. Yeah, exactly. Okay, an explicit hookup website. Okay, buttfucker.com. Okay, the sodomycentral.net, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That is not the place for underage kids, because of course it's not. But you're trying to carve out an exception right there? Bro, we're taking a look at this in real fucking time. That's what you're saying. Yeah, but the fact that people under the age of 18 on these services already indicates that we really can't readily dismiss these platforms out of hand as loci, all right, for queer youth culture. Yeah, so I guess we need to make room for it because they're just going to do it anyways. Terrible fucking argumentation. Rather than merely trying to absolve themselves of legal responsibility, or worse, trying to drive out teenagers entirely, pause. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what the terms of service are. 18 years and older. Nobody younger. That's it. Service providers should instead focus on crafting safety strategies that accommodate a wide variety of use cases for platforms like Grindr, including possibly their role in safely connecting queer young adults. Hey, you need to make space for me in your space, okay? This is kind of like the exact same type of argumentation you always expect from those people that have their own political agenda trying to force themselves into your specific hobby. Okay, you've seen this play out with Comicsgate and the, comics, obviously. Gamergate with video games as well, what Disney's entire fucking agenda is right now. And it's very interesting because this comes from a doctoral dissertation. These ideas fomented, and obviously this wasn't the first and it's not the last specifically sent centered around sexuality. These are the type of people that were or are running social media platforms that are out there. So if you ever wondered why everything is centered around sexuality, case in point right here. What are they discussing for the better part of their fucking life, okay? Where their peen goes into a veen or an a-hole. They don't care. They don't care about anything productive. It's just all about where I can get off. Fucking yuck. Yeah, even as you go deeper into this, okay, pause, okay? Funny, because he acknowledges that, yeah, the age gates are there, okay, can't be 17 plus to even download the app, I guess, or whatever, but yeah, beyond this, the service claims that users are responsible for their own actions and parents are responsible for the actions of their children, but as a rule, the service avoids making any explicit claims of responsibility for the well-being of their users. Like other online service providers, Grindr enjoys a protection of Section 230 in the Communications Decency Act, which provides immunity from the service providers from prosecution on the daily basis of potentially illegal actions of their users. Very interesting, okay, because he's already carving out, and he knows exactly what he's fucking doing here in this point in time. Let's get a picture of this fucking weirdo, okay? What is this all couched in? What was he arguing for? Stronger controls on the user base, okay? And it's all centered around safety. Safety through acceptance. Safety through controlling the narrative. He's dangerous. Wherever he winds up next, you've seen in his actions in some of the backroom chats, okay? He was working with high-level officials. I'd imagine he's probably going to wash up at the Biden administration in some form or fashion. It wouldn't shock me. But it's not about improving anybody's user experience. It's all about controlling the narrative. It's not him in particular, even though he is, he is one of the more prominent figures that are out there pulling the strings, but he's not alone. Maybe I should just go ahead and rephrase it that way. There are many people that think exactly like him. And thanks to Elon Musk outing these control freaks, well, at least we got a fighting chance going forward. So, Yoel Roth, you can continue to claim victimhood status about, I'm being misrepresented, and oh my god, I'm literally facing death threats, and oh my god, I can't believe it, I need to leave my house. It's like, bro, you got caught red-handed, and we can go ahead and read your words, in your words, and it doesn't paint any more of a rosy picture, so sucks to suck, I guess. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.